Welcome back, where it's a little salty, sassy, sarcastic, and an occasional F-bomb. I wish I had boys. I never heard my dad say that once. Never uttered it once. 3 girls, farm and ranch, seemed to work out. Never once said, damn it, I wish I had boys. Damn it, boys think different. Damn it, boys are stronger. Never heard any of that. 3 girls, we got it done. The expectations versus the reality, I don't know. Guess I've never asked my parents, what did you expect with 3 girls? I don't think I'll probably ever ask my parents that. There would be no need to ask that as far as I'm concerned. The daily chores, I don't know. It seems like they vary depending on the season, the time of year, everything from feeding chickens, pigs, sheep, helping calve, run tractor, fencing. I don't know. Beats me. There was always something to do depending on the time of year. We learned through doing. I never sat down and I wonder how you run tractor. Hey, you just got out there and did it. I was given tasks far beyond my age. I think probably one of my funniest young stories is my dad put up hay, and when I was probably, I don't know, somewhere between the age of 6 and 8, I drove the pickup that had the hay wagon, and he did what we called back in the day small bales. Wasn't the large round bales. At that time it was the small bales that he could pick up. So I was driving the pickup, and he put a window scraper between the brake and the gas to put just enough gas. And I'd sit on the phone books and the catalogs so that I could see over the steering wheel. There would be an occasion when I'd slide off the catalogs because I wanted to be in charge. I wanted to push the gas. And that never went well, because usually I pushed too much gas and he went flying off. There were words. I learned to curse probably from my father, I'm pretty sure. But he would just put the ice scraper back, and away we'd go, and I would drive around the field, and he would put the bales up, and that's just what you did. You learned by doing on a daily basis. He answered questions. He encouraged you to ask questions, to learn, to understand. I'm sure that's where I became the logical, literal person, was through my parents and working on the farm and ranch. To this day, when I'm given a task, I need to know all the details. Give me all the details. Most people don't give all the details. It's kind of a surface. And I'm like, well, if you do this, then what happens, and how does that work, and why do you do it that way? I have a lot of questions. There was no special treatment because, quote unquote, because I was a girl. No, there was no special treatment, There were the bruises, the cuts, whatever. Put a Band-Aid on, and, you went back to work. I never broke one single bone. None of us girls ever broke a single bone on that farm and ranch. Dear God, we had to have come close. Because we pulled some stunts, that's for sure. I learned my work ethic from my parents. You know, there wasn't, you didn't put feelings or emotions. I don't feel like getting up this morning and doing my chores. That like never crossed my mind. You get up and do your chores. I might examine the weather and put on more clothes or less clothes or something, but I never once thought about, I don't want to go do my chores. You got up, you did your chores. It was just was what it was. To this day, like when I make a plan and I want to go to the gym, why does going to the gym have a feeling or an emotion? It just is, but that's just the way I look at things from my upbringing. There's so much from our upbringing. Oh my gosh, I hope if anything that you're taking from this is delve back in and find those golden nuggets from your childhood, who you are today. I can think on my feet. I can make a decision. I can stand behind the decision. I can look at the decision and say, okay, I understand now. I would have done that differently had I known this other information. Make a plan, make a decision, go forward. Like I said, I was trusted to do tasks far beyond my ability to comprehend, but I was given enough information and given responsibility. Shit, I've got confidence like you can't fucking believe. I just know I can do it. And if I don't know how to do it, I can figure it out. I say everything is figure-outable. Every frickin' thing is figure-outable. Especially nowadays with a computer and AI. It's all figure-outable and doable. You just gotta figure it out, which is the planning and the problem solving and the reassessing and relooking. That's what intrigues me. Take a situation, figure it out. Does it work? Does it not work? Is it worth working? Is it not worth working? Those are my skill sets. All comes from a little farm and ranch kid. I use the information I have. I make mistakes. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's okay. Once again, I say, I never learned that mistakes and failure was a bad thing. I thought everybody thought that way. I mean, if it didn't work right the first time, you just try it a second time. Isn't that how everybody does it? It's not how everybody does it. Because they weren't given that as a child. I was given that. Like, oh, that didn't work out. Oh, no, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was all cozy and pretty. No, there was a lot of cursing and swearing and, yeah. Not always pretty. But never once was it, you're stupid. You can't do that. You don't know how to do that. There was never that. There might have been, well, I told you to do this. I told you this way. Why didn't you do it that way? Well, I thought maybe it would work this way and that way. I was allowed to have my own opinion to a degree. To a degree. A lot of times it was do it my way or no way. Okay? There was that. There was definitely that. I understand that now. Could have been done differently, not quite as harsh, but my parents had a lot more information than I did. I remember being 16 and thinking I was way smarter than my parents. Yeah, and there's that, huh? Yeah. I was never questioned. Do you think you can do this? Do you think you're capable of doing this? I'll show you how to drive a semi-truck filled with grain. I'll give you a 10-minute lesson, and then you're going to drive it 40 miles and, yeah, and dump the truck and bring it back. I never sat there and thought, oh my God, I don't think I can, holy shit, I don't think I can do that. Okay. Okay. Was I nervous? Oh yeah, I was pretty nervous. I do remember that. I do remember that the semi-truck had a Browning transmission. Yeah. Why the fuck would I remember that? Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. Outside of the fact that I got pretty cocky and I could shift that semi-truck. Did I do it when it was loaded? Maybe on a flat. Maybe on a flat. I could shift with RPMs only and never hit the clutch. And it had two shifts. Like it had a high low. So when you went to second gear, it was second gear high, second gear, yeah, anyway, was a Browning transmission. Who gives a shit, really? Yeah, drove that baby in and unloaded it and brought it back, reloaded it. It's just what you did. I thought everybody does. Didn't everybody drive a semi-truck when they were 15 years old? The fuck were you doing? I just thought we all lived alike, because it's all I knew. Can you imagine the wake up it was when I went to college and figured out you did what? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did that. The way I was taught about life, about doing things, created the leader that I am. The way I look at things, the way I problem solve. I can run frickin' circles around millennials. Fucking circles. Whether it's making a decision, whether it's doing something, whether it's following through, whether it's creating protocols, give it to me. Give it to me. I got this. I got this. Not that I don't doubt myself sometimes, not that I don't, fall flat on my face. Oh, sure, that happens. Who gives a shit? Let's get up and, yeah. Maybe I'll try that one a little different that time. I have my witty personality and my style from my parents. The smart ass, the cocky. We don't call it that. We call it leadership skills. Don't we? Isn't that what it's called? I don't know. Of course it's cocky. Of course it's sarcastic. Witty. I think I'm funnier than hell. I'm probably not that funny. But I think I'm funny, so I'm going to go with that. I see the bright side of things through possibilities. Like if I start a new project, if I do something new, I'm probably not going to stop halfway through because I'm like, oh, this is a failure. This isn't going to work. No, I'm going to continue on, and it might feel like muddling through for a while, but then I'm going to get new information, assess it from a different angle. Yeah, look at it differently. And keep going forward. Will I see it to fruition? Will I see it to the end? I don't know. I don't have the end in mind. It's the process. It's just the process that I'm fascinated with. The end result, and then that's kind of boring. It's like, well, I did that. Okay, it's the process. It's the excitement and the intrigue of not knowing and figuring out and wondering, and then trying it a different way. That's the fascinating. That's the process. That's what I love. Thanks, Mom and Dad. That's where I got it from. It's the way I look at things. It's the way I was taught to look at things. Are you an optimist? Are you a pessimist? How do you take the information? One of my fun stories that I learned years ago from a speaker, I have no idea who the speaker was now to this day, is a salesman. And he's going into a new market. So his boss sends him to this new market. Got all these shoes. And he gets there. And people are running around with no shoes on, with flip-flops, sandals. The young person that's sent is like, get me out of here. People aren't even wearing shoes here. Get me the hell out of here. People don't wear shoes here. Okay. The owner's like, all right, well, let me bring somebody else in. Brings somebody else in. Same environment, same everything. Gets over there. Gets to the new market. Same thing. Sandals, flip-flops, no shoes. However, this time, the phone call that comes in is like, oh my God, send me all the shoes you have. They don't wear shoes here. Yeah, that's me. That's how I look at it. Send me all the shoes. They don't wear shoes here. This is fascinating. I've got a problem now. I've got a problem to solve. This is the process. How do you look at new endeavors, possibilities, challenges every day, new things you want to learn? Yeah. Interesting, huh? I realized that looking back, it was all about the skill set, nothing about the sex. Being a female versus a male. It was the skill set, it was the possibilities set before me, and it was the expectations. I knew it was a win-win. Well, I didn't then know it was a win-win. I look back now and I know that it was a win-win. Just given the environment, the expectations, the skill set, the information, yeah, it was a win-win. So reflecting on my parents, the way they handled 3 girls growing up on a farm and ranch, given tasks far beyond their comprehension and their age, yeah, it's created a pretty big rock star. Now you might be listening and you're like, well, I don't live on a farm and ranch, so I can't do that. It has nothing to do with the farm and the ranch. That's just it. It has to do with wherever you are right now, giving information, sharing, believing, expecting, thriving, reassessing, going forward. It's wherever you are. It's teaching cleaning the house, it's teaching gardening, it's teaching painting, it's whatever. It had nothing to do with the farm and the ranch. Because we all are in situations different than a farm and a ranch. I just grew up on a farm and a ranch. Wherever you are right now, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter anything. It's all about learning new things, trusting, reassessing, going forward, making a mistake, reassessing. It's the process. I love the fucking process. Yeah, it's fascinating to me. So share your stories with me, the stereotypes that you've broken. the fascination with the process that you have of learning and growing and going forward. Oh, it's tough times right now. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. I lived through some pretty big shit, let me just tell you. I lived through a lot of crazy shit as a kid, not understanding it all, but also not living in fear. Getting up every day, reassessing, going forward, enjoying, finding the process, being encouraged, being believed in, being part of the process. Thanks for joining today. Who knows what next time will be? But today, it was all about, I wish I had boys. I never heard that once. Thanks to my parents. Pretty cool chick, thanks to my parents.